my friend, would you like to win some of this fall merchandise that I'm wearing here today? Well, there is a way for you to be able to win it in a giveaway we're hosting. Just make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out how to do it. Alright friends, we are back inside of Roblox Bee Swarm Simulator today to give you a ranking of every single, every single event bee that you can get right here in the ticket shop or anywhere else around the map, because you don't just get event bees from inside of the ticket shop over here. Although this is where a large majority of them come from. We'll start out with number 10 being the Cobalt / Crimson Bee. I'm putting these both at the same rank because they're basically the same bee, just for different hive colors. It does pay me to put this one here because this is actually my favorite bee in the game. I love the cobalt blue and white colors. This is actually the bee that made me love this color scheme so much, but I do love the blue pulse and the blue bomb sink as well. Just such cool tokens and such neat ways to be able to collect the pollen, but sadly it just is more of a mid-game bee. It's great for those who are mid-game, but not for those who are later on in the game. I'm definitely closer to end-game than I am mid-game, to say the least, but there's no way I'm removing this thing from my hive. In fact, there are a lot of bees that you'll see that I'm not removing from my hive because I just love them so much. A majority of those which are event bees. And taking a look at the Crimson Bee, it's basically the same exact thing. I believe they have the same exact stats as well. That would make total sense if they did. They have a really good attack that's up at 7. They make 140 honey in 3 seconds, which is not too bad. Like I said, these are both great mid-game bees. I highly recommend having them both if you are at mid-game and you still have a mixed hive. And even for red hives, it's still really good because the Crimson Bee is for red hives because of the 15% instant red conversion. However, instant conversion kind of kills blue now because of the balloons, but I don't care. I love instant conversion. Number 9, the Vicious Bee. My goodness, it's been years since the Vicious Bee was first released into the game, which is crazy to say because to me it feels like this bee came out just yesterday or last week. But it's still a great bee, but just not the best. Not in comparison to the other bees, especially if you have a red hive. However, for those of us who are blue, it does help with some of the attack because it is a blue bee. Although technically, if you want to be really specific, like at the very end game, late game hive, you don't actually have to have a Vicious Bee. But for me, I think it's kind of necessary because of the lack of damage that blue hives have. If we take a look over here, we can see that it also has its Impale, which is kind of basically what it's known for. It basically spikes enemies and it does a really fantastic job of taking enemies down fast. And its gifted hive bonus is 15% minus monster respawn time, which is really good if you're looking to destroy mobs like the tunnel bear or the king beetle, or you need it for quests, something like that. That's why I still have my Vicious Bee in my hive. Again, it does a really good attack. It also has some good energy as well as some speed. Plus the Vicious Bee is just really awesome in general. So I really like it and don't plan to get rid of it anytime soon. Number 8, the Puppy Bee. Okay, so I understand the Puppy Bee is one of those bees that's always kind of been known as not good. However, I do think within the last couple of updates they have on it has made the Puppy Bee a little bit better, and that's why I'm putting it higher up on the list. Well, quote unquote higher. First of all, because I'm a huge dog lover. I love the design of this bee and I have since the first day it came out. Secondly, it's also my only bee in my hive that actually has one of the first flags on it. Where is that at? There's my Puppy Bee right there. It has that first flag. Look at that thing flying so proudly on there. That's a much better view of it right there. But much like the Tabby Bee, which is much higher up on this list, and we'll get to that in just a moment, but it has the fetch in place of the, the scratch on there, which is actually pretty stinking good if you keep the ball rolling. And the puppy love used to be horrible unless you were like just a low level player. I mean, I have gotten bees leveled up by using this before, but it takes so much. And if we actually look over here, this is actually something new that's been added in some recent updates, but it gives you 10% plus bee move speed, which is really good, and also 50% plus bee gather pollen. Now, it's not the most OP thing in the world, but it is pretty good when you start thinking about how it can affect your stats. And the puppy bee just has some really good stats overall, and so the puppy bee is going to be going at number 8 on this list. Number 7, the Festive Bee. Although I love Christmas and I absolutely love the design of the Festive Bee, there are a few flaws with it that I would like to mention in this video. Now, first things first, this bee is a red bee and it literally makes, oh, I thought it made a red boost. It makes red bomb plus, that's what it is. And I guess you could say the same thing about the Vicious Bee, but the Vicious Bee was even lower on this list. It does have that 1.2 0.25 converted hive gifted bonus, where that used to be 10% plus red pollen, so that's good. And the stats are insane. It makes 150 in 1 second. That is great, and also collects 40 pollen in 4 seconds. And it also grants Festive blessing to all players in the server, but if it's gifted, it also does Bee's Cheer from time to time. So this bee is good, do not get me wrong, but I do feel like there are some better bees that are on the list. Number 6, the Photon Bee. Oh look, more controversy. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this Photon Bee being at number 6 on the list. Now, I'm sure that many of you would have put the Festive Bee here and put the Photon Bee lower on the list, but I don't think that that's the case. When we look at the Photon Bee, we can see that the stats are even better on this bee than they are the Festive Bee, although it takes twice as long to be able and make the honey that this bee does compared to the Festive Bee. It makes double the amount. So basically it's the same, if not better, because it can make double without having to go back and forth to the hive. It collects 20 pollen in 2 seconds, which again is very good, and it has infinite energy, which is huge. It has a speed of 21 and an attack of 4. All of those stats are insanely good for a bee. It also has that gifted hive bonus of plus 5% instant conversion, which, if you know me, I love instant conversion. And all the white hives and red hives said amen to that as well. Not the blue hives, of course, except for mine. We also cannot take out the fact that Beamstorm is literally one of the best tokens in the game. I'm sorry, I said it. It's just so powerful. Love the Photon Bee. Don't plan on getting rid of it at any time soon, but for now, let's go on and move on to the top 5 bees on this list. Hey my friend, if nobody has told you yet today, you are seen, you are known, and you are loved by both God and by me. And if you've been enjoying this ranking video so far, please make sure to give it a like, even consider subscribing if you enjoy Bee Swarm Simulator content here on Super Shorts Central, and make sure to go ahead and join our Roblox group. The link is going to be down in the description below, or at this card right here. We announce giveaways and new videos and stuff about all that there on that group. We also have some brand new fall merch, which is available now and available until October 31st, so make sure you go and pick it up. It's only 7 Robux for each of those items. But for now, let's go ahead and get back into the ranking for the event bees inside of Roblox Bee Swarm Simulator. At number 5, we have the Gummy Bee. So the Gummy Bee's title is literally this: a squishy bee who's sweet as sugar, covers flowers in goo to grant you bonus honey. Now, when we talk about the Gummy Bee, we are talking about loads and loads of free gumdrops that go all over the field. If you spend any time grinding with this bee, you're gonna see very quickly that it likes to cover the field in glue a lot. Look at that, I haven't even been in the field 10 seconds and it's already covering things with goo. I think I said glue earlier. Its first power up is this one right here that we're seeing in action right now. It's basically the same thing as dropping gumdrops onto the field. It's called Gumdrop Barrage. I'm sorry, I do not say that very often. And then we also have this one called Glob right here, which is exclusive to the Gummy Bee, where it just does this right here. Look at that. The Gummy Bee is super powerful with its 5% honey per pollen as well. That is super good. It can collect 10 pollen in 4 seconds. That's average. Speed of 14, average. So I mean, there are some things that are average about this bee, but when it comes to gumdrops, when you need gumdrops and where you need extra honey stuff, like, this is the bee to go with. Oh my goodness, somebody started a mythic meteor shower. Number 4, the Windy Bee. Oh my goodness, where do I begin with the Windy Bee? I debated putting this guy in the 1st or 2nd place, but after determining the facts, there were some other bees that were better than this one. And although the Windy Bee is at the very bottom of the bee tier list over here, it's not at the bottom of my list today. As we can see, it has some amazing stats over here. It's also, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the only bee in the game which creates a white boost. It also creates a rain cloud, and if it summoned it in the field itself, that would be so OP, but it sadly does not. It summons it in another field. But the moment we've all been waiting for, let's talk about the tornado here. This thing spins your haste tax to be able to make a tornado which goes around into a field, collecting so much pollen and doing damage to enemies. It is absolutely phenomenal. It has a speed of 19.6, which is really good, an attack of 4, makes 180 honey in 2 seconds, and its gifted high bonus is 15% white instant conversion. Again, that's really good good. That's just like the other, the Cobalt and the Crimson bees, but basically for white. But with that being said, this is why I put the Windy Bee at number 4 on this list. This is a must-have bee for basically any hive. Now, before we go any further into the video, we have a giveaway going on. It's going to be ending September 12th, and we're going to have 2 winners winning this pair of fall merchandise from Super Short Central. The way that you're going to enter is firstly by liking this video and subscribing to the channel Super Short Central, which is what you're watching right now. The second thing you have to do to enter is join our Roblox group. The link's going to be down at the description of this video or in a card previously shown in the video. And the third and final thing you have to do to be able to enter the giveaway is comment down below your Roblox username as well as the favor or something that you favor about fall. And that's it. You're going to be entered into the giveaway, and I will announce this giveaway on September the 12th, so make sure to keep an eye out for when that comes. Number 3, the Tabby Bee. Oh, you creature. I do not like cats whatsoever, and it pains me to put it pains me as much or more to put this bee up here on the near the top of the list as much as it does to put the Cobalt bee near the bottom of the list. But the sad truth is that this bee is so powerful that you cannot deny the fact that it deserves a place among the top 3. If we just take a look, oh, I don't like looking. It does give a 50% plus critical power, which is absolutely phenomenal. And if you get all the Tabby love things up here, it gives 1,000% Tabby bee gather amount, 1,000% Tabby bee conversion amount, and 1,000% pollen from its scratch ability. Onett, I need you to add this for the puppy bee. Anyway, this bee is basically identical to the puppy bee in the sense that it creates the Tabby love versus the puppy love, and it also has its scratch versus fetch for the puppy bee. As you can see with the puppy bee, the stats on this one are actually better than the Tabby bee. Well, minus the attack, but that's a different story. So because of its power, the Tabby bee has to go at place number 3, but let's go ahead and move on to the next 2 bees, which are extremely powerful in Bee Swarm. Coming in at number 2, we have the Digital Bee. Oh, the Digital Bee, the bee that I long to get, the bee I should have gotten when it was on sale for 2,500 Robux. That's a lot of Robux, but it's better than having to level up my hive to level 20 first. Yeah, this bee is highly having to be in-game in order to obtain it. I do not actually have this bee yet, but even though the stats on this one aren't very good at all, the gifting abilities that you get from it and also the tokens that it creates are insane. I'm not even going to try and explain this bee. Please go watch another video on it if you want to learn more about it, because I don't even know half the stuff that it does yet. All I know is that it can duplicate tokens that are already spawned in the field, and it can make enemies be stunned and all of these different things. It does so much. Not only that, this bee looks insanely awesome. I love the way it is, and even though it has an insanely slow speed, it's still very good because of everything else it does, and that 1% plus ability duplication chance is absolutely insane. And I'm sure some of you had already figured it out by this point, but the number 1 bee inside of the game for event bees has to be the bear bee. Okay, so I get it. This is the Robux bee. This is the bee that you can only obtain by paying 800 or less Robux sometimes, I think. But may I say that this bee is so worth it. And now you don't even actually have to be able and get it through Robux. I just remember that you can actually get a voucher through trading to be able and get it. I think it would be cool to be able and give away one of these things one day. What do you think? Because the bear bee is, like I just mentioned, one of the most powerful bees. It's also the oldest event bee inside of the game. That's right, this bee is as old as Bee Swarm Simulator itself. It's about, wait, I think it's 6 years old. That's a long time for a bee to be able and live, especially considering it's a bear. But the gifted high bonus of 10% plus pollen is really good, but it only creates 1 token. And that 1 token is absolutely insane. It is a bear morph. And basically what a bear morph does is it allows you to run about twice as fast. It also, oh look, here's one right here. It grants 2 times pollen, and this one right here, this is the science bear morph. They do different things. This one creates 1 plus conversion length, and it also does the other player move speed and jump power as well. And on top of that, its stats are pretty good as well, especially the collecting and making pollen as well. But guys, what do you think of this list? I want to hear your thoughts down on the comments below. Do you think that I got this list right, or do you think I got it wrong? Let me hear it all down in the comments below, and I'll plan to see you on another Bee Swarm video in the near future.